Good morning, dear children. In previous chapter, we have learned about Hatukotu and his brave dog Dasu. So that was chapter 7, Dasu part 1. So today let's begin with the chapter 8, Dasu part 2. So let's start. At last the little party came to the lower hills which were covered with trees and grass. There the tracks became wider and walking was much easier. One night they camped on a narrow bridge between two valleys. The animals were unloaded, and a round wall was made by building up on the backs of boreks. In the middle of the circle, Hatukotu's family pitched their tent, which means set up their tent and settled down to cook their evening meal, while the flocks grazed peacefully on the green grass around them. As soon as it was dark, the sheep were driven into the shelter and the donkeys were hopped nearby, for the Tibetans knew that if an animal strayed, it would almost certainly be carried off by a tiger or a leopard. And Hatukotu and his parents were tired after their day's march, so they went to bed early. About midnight, Hatukotu was waked by Dasu, who kept pushing his cold nose against the boy's neck. So the Hatukotu's family arranged their camp by making a round wall with borax bags and pitching their tent in the middle on a narrow ridge between two valleys, and they kept the sheep in the shelter because they know if an animal is strayed, it would be certainly carried off by a tiger or a leopard. Then what happened? Hatukotu's family were very tired after their day's march, so they went to bed early. About midnight, what happened? Dasu wake up Hatukotu by pushing his cold nose against his neck. Then what happened next? And then, what's the matter, Dasu? He asked sleepily. The dog was listening eagerly to some sound which seemed to come like an echo from the valley as Hatukotu listened to. He heard a sudden, sharp cry of a deer quite close by. It is nothing, Dasu. Go to sleep, said Hatukotu, lying down again. Then still, Dasu was ill at ease. He whimpered and prowled about Hatukotu's tent. At last he crawled out of the tent and stood outside among the munching sheep and goat. And they too were uneasy, and the great watchdog chained. So Hatukotu said to Dasu that, what's the matter? There is nothing. Okay, go to sleep. But after that, Hatukotu went down sleep again without doing anything because he thought the sound that came from the valley was nothing but a usual sharp cry of the deer. Then still Dasu was at ease. He whimpered and prowled about Hatukotu's tent. At last he crawled out of the tent and stood outside among the munching sheep and goats, and they too were uneasy, and the great watchdog were chained. So let's continue. Across the opening of the ship, Ben was standing up and growling straight into the darkness of the night. Suddenly, with a heavy crushing of bushes, the striped body of a tiger leaped. Leap means jump over into the pen and siege a fat lamb. Okay, the watchdog strained at his rope until he broke loose. Then he ran for safety. The other dogs sat up, frightened, howling, but the sheep and goats were silent with terror. Then, at the sudden noise, Hatukotu, who was lying only half asleep, sat up and rubbed his eyes. And the boy missed Dasu from his tent, so he ran out to see what had happened. A sound of angry snarling came from the tiger, who held the poor lamb under one of his giant paws. It is a tiger, gasped the boy, gasping, breathing heavily. Then, without thinking of what he was about, Hatukotu sprang towards the big animal, having his arm widely. He hopped to scare him off, but the tiger was old and furred, very strong, and had no intention of being scared away by a small boy. Then, as Hatukotu stopped waving his arms, the tiger's eye gleamed wickedly, bright shine, okay, wickedly, in very anger, and with a quick spring, the great animal threw himself at the little boy. Okay, then knocked him flat on the ground. Hatsukoto gave a loud scream, and the next moment, a small furry body flung in itself at the tiger's head. So, after Hatsukoto laid down for a while, suddenly, with crushing of bushes, the straight body of a tiger leaped into the pen and seized a fat lamb. Then Hatsukoto sprang towards the tiger, waving his arms widely and trying to scare the animals away without thinking of anything. And the tiger threw itself at the little boy and knocked him flat on the ground. And what happened? After that, Hatukotu gave a loud scream, and the next moment, a small furry body flung into at the tiger's head. And then it was Dasu. Whenever the tiger tried to lower his great snarling mouth, means growl anger, okay, snarling mouth, to seize Hatukotu, to eat Hatukotu. Dasu was in the way. His small sharp teeth dug into the tiger's head and neck and made the first animal still more angry. With a roar, the tiger flung, okay, means throw violently in anger the little dog into the air, but in a moment or two Dasu returned to attack back the tiger so that Dasu could help Hatukotu. So Hatukotu dared not rise and run, so he buried his face in the ground. The minutes seemed like years to the little boy. He knew that Dasu could not help him much longer, for the dog's soft little body was already covered with the bites and deep scratches. Oh, why did someone not come to his aid? At last, Hatukotu's mother awoke, and in a moment she roused the rest of the family, shouting loudly. They attacked the tiger with heavy stick. Then, in despair, Hatukotu's mother threw a light torch at it. The flames of the torch and the noise of the shouting frightened the tiger. Okay, then he leaped silkily down to the valley and was gone. Then he means the tiger leaped means jump over. Silkily means with sad, okay, with sad he went down towards the valley and he was gone. Then what happened? Hatukotu was not badly hurt, though he was bruised and had a few cuts where the tiger had bitten his shoulder. But poor Dasu, whom they found hiding in a corner, was badly wounded. Okay, Hatukotu's mother bound up the body's cut with a piece of dirty clothes, piece of cloth, and placed a lump of salt against the sore places. But they all shook their heads over Dasu. Then I fear we are going to lose Dasu. Indeed, he is as good as dead already, said Hatukotu's father as he went to light a great fire and to mend the broken places in the pen. Hatukotu wept and cried and begged until his mother and one of the men picked up the dog and washed his wound. After many days of careful attention, Dasu recovered. Though he was never as strong as swift as foot as before, he was Hatukotu's shadow more than ever now, and followed the boy everywhere. So sometimes other Tibetans who came to the camp would laugh and say, why do you keep that crippled old sheepdog? He would give plenty of puppies which would be of more use to you and would eat less than that lazy animal. To those people, Hattukotu's father would reply, we grudged or display feeling sad, okay? Grudge Dasu nothing. He saved my little son's life and he is our best friend. So Dasu was badly hurt and they thought they could not help or they could not save Dasu. But after many days of careful attention, Dasu recovered. But sometimes other Tibetans laughed at Hatukotu's family that why they keep that cripple and old sheep sick dog with them. They would rather give plenty of puppies which would be more used to them and would eat less than that lazy animal. But those people had to go to his father reply that we cannot do anything for Dasu. We cannot pay back whatever he does because he saved Hatukotu's life. So, and he is our best friend. So, likewise, this story is ended up here and written by Evelyn Powell Price. So, I have already given the question answer. So, by the end of this video, you'll get some words, okay, typical words. You have to find out the meaning of those words. So, send your homework in my personal WhatsApp number. Till then, take care. Thank you.